what's up? I'm Madison. Welcome back to my channel, Mad Crafty. So today's craft was entirely inspired by Dylan's Candy Bar. If you've ever been before, it is a magical candy heaven, and inside their floors and their stairs, they've got candy kind of like embedded and sort of like backlit, and it's really very cool. So I thought, how could I recreate that? I can use resin and I can do it on a serving tray. So that's what I did today. I decided to do a mandala shape to make it kind of, easy to follow and not just kind of throwing random candy around, which would also look cool, but I didn't do that this time. I've been crafting with resin a lot lately. I would consider myself an advanced beginner, definitely not an expert. If you have any tips after watching this video, please comment below and tell me how I could have made it better, because you can always be better. Now, before I go shop and pick out the candy, I just want to say that I do not know which candy will take to resin. Some kinds of candy may take better. Some candy has dye in it. Some candy's gummy. I don't know. Might have like a weird scientific reaction. I am not sure, but I am here to do it so that you don't have to. You can learn what to do and what not to do. So let's go get that candy. Oh, sour belts. At the dollar store, but we need to strategize. We're not just gonna buy any candy we want. We want candy that's probably in like the same amount of thickness. You're not gonna get a giant lollipop and then get little SmartTarts. What are they called? SweetTarts. So you wanna get things that are similar in size, because when we pour our resin on top, you don't wanna pour tons of layers. You want it to be easy for yourself. So let's pick out the best candies. And I brought Mick today. Mick, look bud, look at the friends. He's up there. So it's probably not in your best interest to get your favorite candies, because then you're gonna eat your project before you do it. But I'm gonna get my favorites anyway. If you're gonna do a mandala like me, you want to make sure that you get the most bang for your buck. So if you're gonna get Sour Patch as one thing, this is good because there's so many pieces in it. Oh, just sit, honey, good boy. And also, let's see, other things. So Twizzlers would be great because you can make star shapes, but maybe these thick ones wouldn't be as good because these are thinner. You know what I mean? Great. Okay, so we're gonna get Sour Punch Bites, and these are one of my favorites, so I'm gonna get two. Let's see what else. I like the Sour Patch Kid heads because they're bigger. So I don't know, but you see I'm feeling there might be like 12 in here. Is that enough? Maybe not. Gotta get two. I also love these twin snakes, and I don't think that they're gonna look good, but I'm gonna need a snack while I'm doing it. So yeah, okay. Another good thing is the sour streamers. They're flat. See, flat is perfect, and they come with a lot. So we're gonna want these. You could also cut these up into triangles, which is great for a mandala. So we're gonna go with those two. Let's go over here. So let's see here. Like, lifesavers are kind of ugly, right? Mick, you're making, oh, Mick, what should we get? What do you think? Do you want, oh, you want a kiss? Do we get Twizzlers? Should we get Twizzlers? Okay. All right, so Mick said to get Twizzlers, so I'm gonna get Twizzlers. Also, you wanna get circular candies. Circular candies are great for the mandala because, you can have a ton of circles, so we need SweetTarts. Let's go. Where the SweetTarts are, I cannot say. Found them. Also, Sour Punch straws. Yes. He's 5. Yeah.
What kind is he again?
Okay, first step. Since I hate when I don't make enough resin or make too much, I'm going to measure out how much I'll need with water since I'm using a tin tray. I wouldn't recommend doing this with a wood one. So I'm going to take my 2 biggest or thickest pieces of candy and put them in the tray. And I'm going to keep filling it up until water covers both of these candies. I am taking note every time I add another cup. I ended up using 6 cups of water, which means that's exactly how much resin I will need as well, which will be really helpful after I'm done gluing my candy on.
It's been a good day, now it's time for us to celebrate. Let's hit the town, get ready now. I'll roll you one on the way. The night is young, down goes the sun. Now it's time to have some fun. Let's get high.
I sprayed my candy down with some Mod Podge just to give everything a nice seal and because I didn't want sugar floating around. I then safely and carefully mixed up my resin. I used this brand, but you can use whichever brand you like. Just remember that all resin brands have slightly different directions, so make sure you follow them perfectly. Once you've poured all of your resin out, you're gonna see some air bubbles. That's okay, that kind of always happens. I'm using a heat gun to blow mine out, but you can use a flame or blow through a straw to do that. I believe that my heat gun might melt some of my candy, and I kind of want to see what that will look like, so I'm gonna go with it, but if you don't want that, I suggest using the straw method. Once you've popped your bubbles, often more bubbles appear, so you might walk away for 5 minutes and then come back and see more bubbles. That's okay, just keep trying to blow them out before your resin starts to cure, but eventually, maybe an hour and a half after, depending on the brand of resin you got, the resin will start to harden, so also make sure your tray is on a very flat surface.
So, as you can see, a lot of the gummies melted, but some didn't. So the cherries in the center and the gummy bears along the sides totally melted. It's not even a piece of candy anymore. But I'm thinking that that possibly was because I used my heat gun too often. Now, I did this off camera, but I had to pop bubbles very, very often. I must have went back maybe 10 times to pop bubbles, and I used a heat gun. So, but anyway, it still looks really cool because I didn't design, it's not all muddy, it's still that bullseye center. But to see the candy that took really well, Twizzlers, I definitely recommend using those if you're gonna do that. Also the M&Ms, shockingly, I thought those would I thought their dye would maybe spurt out, but that didn't happen. Those took really well. The SweetTarts also worked. The sour straws were great, and so were the sour belts. So I think, oh, also the sour Patch Kid heads were also great, as well as the Mike and Ikes right here. Those are not drugs, they are Mike and Ikes. So if I were to do this again, I would definitely go for more Twizzlers and more sour belts, in which I would cut out more triangles and maybe make cooler shapes. But perhaps stay away from the gummy bears and the cherries, unless you want to try it and let me know how yours turned out. Because maybe you're better at mixing resin than I am, and maybe your tray didn't have as many tiny bubbles as mine did, so maybe it wouldn't work. I don't know. If you try it, please let me know. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, I would love if you gave it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to I always say that so fast. And consider subscribing to my channel to see more crafts. You can find me on Instagram at madcrafty, and I'll see you next time.